So we can do this anywhere in the world, in Africa, in Argentina, in China, in India. The first thing is that we need a feedstock, meaning we need an input material that has either sugar or starch or both. For example, sweet sorghum, which is a temperate sister crop to sugarcane that's very suitable for Argentina, for example. Sugar beets, fodder beets. Fodder beets is almost 4 times the output production of corn. Sweet sorghum is almost 7 times the output of corn. We can actually make alcohol from cellulose too. Cellulose is the woody mass, the paper. Think about all the paper, the newspapers, the toilet paper that's thrown away. All that can be turned into alcohol. Oil companies, for example, they're in the business of patenting cellulosic processes so they can control that part of how to make alcohol. We are about 12 months, 18 months away from an open-sourced method of converting cellulose into alcohol, ethanol. Once we have perfected that technology, that will change the whole small-scale alcohol production, because it opens up to feedstocks, grass, for example, that are cut every year and thrown away for nothing. Well, that's feedstock for turning into alcohol. All the paper junk that's thrown into the landfill, that is feedstock for making into alcohol. The second part is a machine that would ferment the feedstock. If it's a sugar feedstock, like for example, pears, grapes, anything that has sugar in it, it's ready to go. All you need to do is then use yeast to turn it into alcohol. The process is that the yeast eats the sugar, the simple sugar, and it poops out alcohol and carbon dioxide. If it's a grain feedstock like corn, potatoes, we have to add an extra step. We have to use certain enzymes that take the starch and break it down into simple sugar. The third thing is that we need a machine that takes the 12% alcohol to the 192 alcohol, which is 95% or 96% alcohol, 4%, 5% water. Fermentation is about turning the sugar or the starch into 12% alcohol. And distillation process is to take the 12% alcohol up to 95 or 96% alcohol. What we're trying to do is to build a machine in such a way that it's not so expensive. It's more for Argentina and the third world. By having it somewhat semi-automated helps to make it much easier. So you don't have to sit there all day waiting for it, measuring it. So that's one of the projects that we're currently doing right now. What is the difference between small scale and large scale? When we do large scale, it's hundreds and thousands of hectares of land that's devoted to one crop and one crop only. In America, it's maize. In Brazil, it's sugarcane. The problem with that is that when you do monoculture, you have the problems of pests and weeds and all those other things, and it depletes the soil of the minerals. When you do it small scale, you can select the type of feedstock that grows in your geographic area in terms of the climate, the soil conditions, how much water you have. When we make alcohol, we get 3 things: liquid alcohol, carbon dioxide gas, and the mash. In the large-scale operations, they let the carbon dioxide go up in the air. If we do it small scale, we can use that carbon dioxide, we can pipe it into greenhouses to grow our vegetables, our verduras. Vegetables love carbon dioxide. In a CO2 enriched environment, they actually can grow twice as fast and twice as large, depending on the vegetable. So this is a way of growing more food quickly. Another advantage, of course, is that we can take the mash, this is the food that's left over, when we make the alcohol from grains. Because when we make alcohol, all we're doing is removing the sugar and the starch. So all the other stuff that came from the earth is left in that mash. That mash is actually organic fertilizer. And it's an early stage herbicide. So now you have a organically produced fertilizer and herbicide that can be used in place of Roundup Ready. If you don't need Roundup Ready, why would you need Monsanto Seeds of Death? The model that we're trying to prove is on 4 hectares, más o menos, okay? Small enough so that a community of families, farmers can get together and contribute and work together to grow both fuel and food at the same time. On 4 hectares of land, we can produce up to around somewhere a little bit less than 40,000 liters a year of alcohol. That's a lot of fuel. What's neat about alcohol is that once you have established the production of alcohol in a community, we can provide the energy to do cooking, heating, electricity generation, and refrigeration. With those 4 things, a community can truly be energy self-sufficient. And of course, if we can produce energy where we are, okay, that is empowerment to the people. We are going through a transition right now called Great Depression 2. I believe in taking advantage of these situations and making things better for the world. We really need to network with the people. You know, if I had food and I had fuel and my neighbors do not, sooner or later, I won't have food, I won't have fuel. This is all about open source, free information, because we believe that this technology and the information that are related to it is meant for humanity right now. And we are at the cusp of some tremendous changes right now. And this is a knowledge and technology that we have to implement now. And it's the solution for our times.